executed on the ground in Bangladesh and that continue to be developed. It is also reflected in the mutually beneficial engagement we have on a whole set of issues ranging from trade, commerce, connectivity, power, water and energy, and development cooperation, consular cooperation and cultural cooperation. There is no reason why this mutually beneficial cooperation should not continue to deliver in the interests of both our peoples. And to that end, therefore, I have underlined today India's desire to work closely with the interim government of Bangladesh authorities. At the same time, we also had the opportunity to discuss certain recent developments and issues, and I conveyed our concerns, including those related to the safety and welfare of minorities. We also discussed some regrettable incidents of attacks on cultural, religious, and diplomatic properties. A constructive approach on all these issues by the Bangladesh authorities, and we look forward to moving the relationship forward in a positive, forward-looking, and constructive direction. Thank you all very much.
Excellency, do you believe this is still the golden era?
Okay, so that is the Indian Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri's statement there. And the important takeaway is that he's confirmed right now that India has raked up the fact that there are attacks happening on minorities with his Bangladeshi counterparts. So very important message going across there from the Foreign Secretary, as he's confirmed that India has expressed concern over minorities being targeted, over the non-stop attacks on Hindus. And the Foreign Secretary saying that these regrettable incidents have also been raised with our Bangladeshi counterparts. We hope that there will be action taken by Bangladesh to stop this. This is in fact the big takeaway from Vikram Misri's press conference there. Very brief statement that he gave to the media after meeting with his counterpart, the Bangladeshi Foreign Secretary as well. Now, a number of issues that really the Indian Foreign Secretary has referred to. One also about a focus on ensuring that India-Bangladesh ties are back on track. But amid that, a clear, tough message being sent across by India to Bangladesh, saying that the issue of atrocities on minorities in Bangladesh must be addressed. The issue has been raised. India hasn't shied away from raising it directly with the authorities concerned in Bangladesh. And this comes even as India has put out multiple statements condemning attacks on Hindus, condemning attacks on minorities. Geeta Mohan, our Foreign Affairs editor, is joining us with more details on this. Geeta, you've got the Foreign Secretary saying that there was a frank, a candid exchange of ideas, but the biggest takeaway perhaps is that India sent across a very, very stern message to Bangladesh on attacks or atrocities.
I'm here in Dhaka at the invitation of my Bangladesh colleague, His Excellency Mohammad Jashimuddin, the Foreign Secretary of Bangladesh, for discussions and consultations on the entire gamut of issues in the extremely important bilateral relationship between India and Bangladesh. Since the political changes in Bangladesh in August this year, there has of course been contact between our leaderships. The Prime Minister was the first world leader to greet the Chief Advisor on his assumption of office. The two of them had a very cordial telephone conversation thereafter, and the Chief Advisor also accepted the Prime Minister's invitation to speak at the third Voice of the Global South Summit that was held in August this year. Since then, the External Affairs Minister and the Foreign Affairs Advisor have also been in touch. They met each other on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in New York in September this year. And my visit follows those interactions and is the first Foreign Secretary level structured engagement between the two sides following those developments. Today's discussions have given both of us the opportunity to take stock of our relations, and I appreciate the opportunity today to have had a frank, candid and constructive exchange of views with all my interlocutors. I emphasized that India desires a positive, constructive, and mutually beneficial relationship with Bangladesh. We have always seen in the past, and we continue to see in the future, this relationship as a people-centric and people-oriented relationship, one that has the benefit of all the people as its central motivational force. This is reflected on a daily basis in the development projects that have been executed on the ground in Bangladesh and that continue to be developed. It is also reflected in the mutually beneficial engagement we have on a whole set of issues ranging from trade, commerce, connectivity, power, water and energy, and development cooperation, consular cooperation and cultural cooperation. There is no reason why this mutually beneficial cooperation should not continue to deliver in the interests of both our peoples. And to that end, therefore, I have underlined today India's desire to work closely with the interim government of Bangladesh authorities. At the same time, we also had the opportunity to discuss certain recent developments and issues, and I conveyed our concerns, including those related to the safety and welfare of minorities. We also discussed some regrettable incidents of attacks on cultural, religious, and diplomatic properties. A constructive approach on all these issues by the Bangladesh authorities, and we look forward to moving the relationship forward in a positive, forward-looking, and constructive direction. Thank you all very much.
Excellency, do you believe this is still the golden era?
So that's the full statement that we just played out for you from the Indian Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri from Dhaka, where in fact he sent out a very positive note as far as India-Bangladesh ties are concerned. And I'd like to bring in Geeta Mohan to discuss the message also that's gone across from India, Geeta, to Bangladesh on the attacks that are being committed against minorities, against Hindus in Bangladesh.
Well, Akshika, this is a very important visit, a critical and a very crucial meeting at a time when there is massive chaos and turbulence in terms of the unstable situation that we're seeing in Bangladesh. And therefore, Vikram Misri, who's there not just on a bilateral visit, but particularly for Foreign Office consultations, which is a very regular affair between India and Bangladesh. But given the timing and given the time when he is in Dhaka, it is important to note that India has indeed put forth its concerns, but also highlighted the importance of the ties, whether it's trade, economic, the Indian interests in Bangladesh, investments in Bangladesh, and for Bangladesh, the importance of India as well. So, according to the Foreign Secretary, a very fruitful and important discussion between the two sides, but also more importantly, India highlighting concerns regarding minorities in Bangladesh and the situation that prevails today.
All right, Geeta, thanks very much for joining us with all of those details.